Good morning, everyone. Lane Rodney again. It's good to be here. This is my second time speaking in a week's time, and next week I'm going to be, next month I'm going to be doing the trifecta. Where I'll be doing the think tank, and I wanted to give you a little. I thought I would start off with a little family history because probably a lot of new people don't know about me and stuff. I'm actually a Stanford native. I was born in Stanford at St. Joe's Hospital. For those who don't know where that is, that's now the Tully Center. I grew up in Pound Ridge, New York, which is just north of Stanford, and went to Fox Lane High School. My college, I went out in Long Island, Dowling College. I can now say my college has gone out of business, so that's I guess, a good point or a bad point. And I got married. My wife comes from the country of Liechtenstein, which is the fourth smallest country in Europe. It's 10 miles wide and 17 miles long. There's 35,000 people there. They actually still have a prince, and I've met him. I've met a couple of them. They're very nice people. I have two daughters, both married, and I have three grandsons. I always think it was interesting. I had girls, and yet I have grandsons for boys. So, in the long run, things work out. And my oldest daughter lives in Switzerland now, so we go back and forth all the time, and I'm always comparing Stanford to Switzerland, but that's onto another story. So anyway, Stanford by foot. When the lockdown started, I said I can't stay home all day long, so I started walking more. I used to walk 3 to 5 miles a day, and now I started walking 7 to 10 miles a day. It was very painful at first, but you do get used to it. As I walked all over Stanford, I've discovered more and more interesting sites. And it came to me that, hey, this would be something that I should let people know. And that's why I decided to start the blog Stanford by Foot. It took a while to get going. I had my daughter help me, and she was not that great. But then I was able to get Gina to help me get the blog up and running. And like I say, it's moving forward. So question now is, where am I today? I've written over 36 blogs. I'm on Instagram. I try to come up with different things, but I'm thinking, at this stage, I need to concentrate or figure out exactly where I want to go. So here's where I think what I've come up with some ideas I want to do. I initially start the blog to tell people where to walk around Stanford. There's so many exciting spots. It's a big town. There's a lot to do, but I don't know if that's going to be what people are really looking for. I've also, as I walk around Stanford, I find that there's an awful lot of beautiful art in Stanford. Natural art, there's amazing how many sculptures and stuff are around in Stanford. And when I did my walk across the state, I was really surprised that Stanford has an awful lot of artwork that no other city seems to have. So I'm thinking that might be part of my blog to talk about art. I'm also thinking about promoting what's happening in Stanford. I met with Amy this week, and she gave me some nice information about new stores coming in. And I'm thinking, the Stanford Advocate is, hate to say it, next to useless these days. So I'm thinking, that might be another thing to, as I walk around, I see new stores being open, and there's a taco store going to be going on into the Grand Central Shopping Center. It's amazing what you see when you walk around. Another thing I'm thinking about is getting people together. I'm doing my best to try to talk to people as I walk around. And I'm finding that people are starved for social intercourse. I know when I had my Stanford Business Entrepreneurial Society, people would come and they would just talk and talk and talk. And it's amazing now when I go to see people that if I can get them past that first initial, they don't want to talk, they do love to talk. So I'm thinking that's another way the blog might be able to get people to talk. And possibly when we have the lockdown ends, we could, do more talking and stuff like that. And now my next biggest idea is rails and walks. When I did my walk across Connecticut last summer, I chose Route 1 mainly because I didn't want to stay at a hotel, and I was able to take the train home every day. And I've decided to start writing about how to take a train someplace and take a walk and get home the same day. And I'm thinking that can be a great place to start my in my next quest, because at this point, I've had fun with the blog, but I really have to decide what do I want to do with it. And I'm thinking, there's influence, which, if I do influence, I have to get more people to listen to the blog. There's being the expert, which I hope to be, people realize, hey, this person knows about Stanford and stuff. And I think, at some point I do want to make some money at it. I mean, it's a joy to do at this point, and it doesn't cost me much to do the blog, but at some point you have to decide where you want to go with that. So what I'm thinking now is, the question is, how can my fellow SBN members help me? Well, like I say, I'm pushing the rails and walks. I'm thinking that people know anyone like in the Stanford magazine, Fairfield magazine. I'm looking for places that would be willing to, let's say, copy my blog and stuff. And like I say, I think Stanford magazine, Fairfield magazine. I'd love to talk to someone in the state of Connecticut, possibly the tourist and travel section, or maybe even the Department of Transportation. So that's one of my thoughts about where I can go. And again, I'm thinking, starting possibly a monthly meeting for the blog where, walking around Stanford and stuff. And so like I said, I'm looking for influence, and then I'm thinking, next month I'm going to be doing the think tank, and I'm going to really be asking for critical feedback from you guys, because it's been fun what I've been doing so far. But like I say, I think I really need to, I won't say focus more, but decide what, where I want this blog to go and what type of money how I'm going to move it to the next level. I usually talk too fast, which I think I did today. So I've kind of run out of things to say at this point. So I'm open to any questions.
I have a question, Lane.
Yes.
I'm wondering, as you were speaking, who your best target audience is, and 3 identified for me: retirees who want to be healthy and do this kind of thing, or moms with kids that like the idea of having a rails to trails experience, or maybe just the health conscious. Have you thought at all about that, or who do you want to appeal to the most?
That's definitely a thing I've been thinking about, because you can't be everything to everybody, and those 3 things you said are really great idea. I'm thinking, the retired people I think would be a perfect group for the rails to trails. I mean, this week I went to Boston, and one of the things I like about walking is you never know what's going to happen. I was spent the day in Boston, and I was in the Boston Commons, and there was a guy with a sign saying, hey, I'll do your portrait for $1. And I thought, why not? And this is what he did for me for $1. And I'm trying to think, how can I convey this to people, that by walking, you don't know what's going to happen, and great things do happen to you all the time. So yes, that's why I'm thinking this is great for the, give you some ideas today, and then we'll be doing a think tank in, a couple of weeks time, and I will look for more information, and I'm looking forward for my team members to give me a good, push in the right direction. Any other questions?
Lane, it's Keith. How are you?
Good.
Appreciate your explanation of what you've been doing with StamfordByFoot. I think it's really creative. I'm just wondering, as you prepare for your roundtable and all the feedback, could you think of kinds of services that you might deliver alongside your passion? So the passion is what gets you the attention, but maybe you have a product that's aligned with that. Like, is there something that you really enjoy that you might connect with what you're doing with StamfordByFoot? So you put a product together with your blog.
I think that's a great idea. Yes, I'm going to start working on that also. That's why I'm thinking this was a great time to do my 10-minute presentation, then the think tank, so I can, come up with a product, more passion, and take it from there. So,
or maybe if you brought some quick video to what you're doing, you could sell video services. Anyways, that was the thought I had, is to align your StamfordByFoot, which is a passion, with something commercial. Good luck.
Or get a sponsor, a Stanford athletic foot store, shoe store.
Yes, it sounds good. So I see I have 5 seconds left. I want to thank everyone for listening to me, and I'm sure we'll be talking together.